forget the virtual version, reality itself is like a video game. It gives us moves to learn and jobs to accept. It takes us through snow levels, desert levels, grass levels, and water levels. It gives us princesses to pursue and inventories to manage. Life takes plenty of cues from video games. We're fortunate then that it hasn't taken many from this one. Life is tough. Xevious is tougher. Xevious doesn't give you second chances. It doesn't ease you into things either, nor does it offer some developmental period in which you can poop your pants and suck your thumb. Xevious assumes that if you're tough enough to step into this arduous arena, you're tough enough to handle being shot at by multiple enemies on multiple planes. That's planes as in the imaginary surface upon which objects rest, and those hostile aircraft that shoot lasers at you. That's how tough Xevious is. Its mechanics require multiple definitions of the same word just to understand them. Released to arcades in 1982, Xevious was one of the first games of its kind. Unlike earlier vertical shooters like Space Invaders and Galaxian, Xevious takes place on a scrolling plane. It creates the illusion that you're actually flying an aircraft over terrain, an effect that was pretty groundbreaking in 1982. In fact, Xevious broke a lot of ground in general. The game features lots of hidden bonuses in the form of special flags, secrets that would become a Namco trademark, and another area in which it was a pioneer. In addition to the way they scrolled, the game's graphics were also a huge step forward for their time. At least, they were in the arcade version. Ported to Nintendo's console in 1988, Xevious wasn't the visual stunner on the NES that it was in its original form. The texture and detail that made the game look so appealing in arcades was mostly lost in the home console translation. Now, to be fair, that's to be expected with most arcade ports from this era, but with Xevious, the contrast is especially stark. On the NES, Xevious looks a bit egregious. Fortunately, this version does play well, and with a game as demanding as Xevious, that's really the only thing that matters. Another area in which this game separated itself from other arcade shooters, Xevious takes place on two planes. Enemies are attacking you from both the air and the ground, and you have a weapon for each. Your blaster handles foes in the sky, and a well-placed bomb strike annihilates those on the ground. Now, the whole air and ground dynamic may sound simple, but it's actually an intensely clever mechanic that requires some serious concentration to master. Shooting at incoming aircraft while positioning your reticule for a bomb drop is as rewarding as it is challenging, a practice sort of akin to rubbing your stomach and patting your head at the same time. Of course, if you can master those mechanics, you have 16 different areas to fly over in Xevious, or so I've heard. You're watching me continuously fail at the opening level for a few reasons. First, I've never gotten any further than this, and secondly, Kevin wasn't around to help me. His skills with Xevious are downright devious. And frankly, so is the game itself. Xevious is a tremendously challenging game, but it's also an influential classic that's worth every explosion you endure and the inevitable fits of frustration they incur.